Well, at least no one's looking
Hello,
down their
everybody.
nose at me no more.
Welcome back to Chef Plays Zombie Critique. And today we're talking about Dead of the Night, which was a good idea, but I think a bad execution. I found myself getting not enjoying this map as much as the others in this game. I really thought I liked it more, but then going in and playing it this time, and like thinking about it from a mindset of like trying to think what I didn't like and did like, the cons outweighed the pros in this one. So without further ado, let's do let's do that. Our pros cons rating recommendation and end the video. So for pros, it is a cool map. You know, you got to give it that. It's definitely a setting we haven't seen before. It reminds me a little bit of the mansions from like Resident Evil. A little more fleshed out, a little bigger, but it reminds me of those. And you know, being that's where I almost started the channel was like strictly Resident Evil stuff. I'm a huge fan of that, and it does kind of stick with me. So it does get points for something it's not even technically doing. uh, it has a cool pack-a-punch system. I really do like the little Easter egg it sends you on, where you have to find the three jewels, get like three kills near them, and then it'll give you a vague idea of what to find and what to do. It's just really neat, and it's not really a method we've seen before of unlocking the pack-a-punch and being like a little tiny quest for you. And I really do enjoy pack-a-punching on this map. And it has some different enemies we haven't seen before, which are also cons, but we'll talk about that in the cons. I just think it's from the perspective of not the enemies themselves, but it's straight up being enemies that we have yet to have seen. And I do enjoy when they try to do things like that. It does show some innovation. So, yeah. And those are all the pros. Let's get into the cons now. Silver bullets. Now, these are the first up because they do have somewhat of a pro to them in the sense that once you've built them, you can refill your ammo whenever you need to. Um, for any weapon, which is not an option in this game unless you have the elixir for max ammo. Uh, so that is really nice. But the bad things on them are if you don't build them, then vampires and the werewolf boss that shows up every like 6 rounds are absolute bullet sponges. Like, even if you're hitting their weak points, these things will wreck you. Like, they don't even. The werewolf hits pretty hard. The vampires don't hit super hard, but they do stop health regeneration for a couple seconds. And, you know, without silver bullets, they take a ton of ammo to put down. Now, going into the next one is the vampires themselves. They cool enemy again. It fits the theme of the map, but they are super annoying. They can jump like 10 feet in the air, and again, they don't do a ton of damage, but they do stop health regeneration for a couple seconds. And if they keep hitting you, then your health is not going to regenerate. So when they mix themselves into a train and they smack you and you get cornered, that's how I lost one of my lives in this match. Is it? They bug me so much. The woods around the pack a punch, very dark, and you could argue you can turn up your brightness, but if you're playing it with standard brightness, the woods are ridiculously dark, and there's so many zombie spawns throughout the woods, and they come from absolutely everywhere, and they get you cornered, which is how I lost my second life. And they just, it, I don't know, it's such a terrible spot. Like, where the pack a punch is looks cool, I guess, but it does not bode well. Like, especially if you're on a higher round and going for the like max pack, which you know relatively you could get within a decent time, but at the same time, it's still again the amount of zombie spawns and the amount of twists and turns and corners. Like it's, I'm not a fan. And I put silver bullets twice in the list. We're not going to talk about them again, but this map unfortunately has a forgettable cast. If you've been watching the zombie critiques up until this point, you'll know that I'm a huge fan of celebrity casts, and this one did not. It just doesn't stick with me. Like, I genuinely don't remember any of their names. Like, I don't remember the actors and the actress who played them. Like, I just. It's completely forgettable. I totally forgot it was a celebrity cast until I went to do this video. Like, I actually forgot about the map. I thought Ancient Evil was supposed to be this video, but it wasn't. It's not great. It's definitely not one of my favorites, and this is the first time throughout Zombie Critique where there's more cons than pros. And I don't like to be negative about it as much as I do love zombies, but sometimes you do get stinkers in there, and this is one of them. I think this map could have been really cool. I think it could have been super awesome. It still is cool looking, and it's a cool idea, but I think some of the ideas that they put in there just kind of tank it a bit. And for those reasons, I'm giving this map a 6. I, again, think it's a cool setting, had some cool ideas, but it just definitely not my favorite. So, I mean, if you want a little bit of a different step, it almost feels like a different game. Like, you know how, especially lately with games like Scare Ritual and stuff, games are trying to replicate the zombies formula because it works and it pulls in people. But this was not the way to go. But I guess if you're looking for something different, this is not a bad idea. But I wouldn't say sink into it. But, you know, if it is, like, your favorite, again, that's okay. It's just definitely not for me. But I hope you enjoyed. Hope you're having a good day. If you're watching early on, have a good rest of your day. I'll see you in the next one. And until then, keep surviving. And, yeah, I don't know. I really wish there was more positives I could say about this map, but there's really not. So, I'll see you in the next one, which will be Ancient Evil, which is a map that I do actually really enjoy. So yeah, until then, see ya.
The lift.